Today we're looking at Magic the Gathering cards that you want to discard. Here's my first suggestion. Altanak, the Thrice Called. It's a 7-mana 9/9. But why would I want to pay 7 mana when I can play the activated ability of paying 2 mana and discarding Altanak, the Thrice Called to return target land card from my graveyard to the battlefield tapped? It's like a weird ramp card almost. Instead of looking through my deck for the land, I'm going to look through my graveyard. But also protects from anyone that blew up my good lands. Don't strip mine me around here. All right, next, let's take a look at Steve Cooper's Dodecapod. Is this like an equipment or something? It's a 4-mana 3/3 golem. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Dodecapod, what happens? Put it onto the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it instead of putting it into your graveyard. Wow, that's a got him. Yeah, that definitely works. You got like 0 mana 5/5. That is a got him. I think there's quite a few cards with this type of effect. This isn't even the strongest one. This is just a vanilla 5/5. Next up, Benjamin Berkey wants to talk about circular logic. I'm assuming we're going to get through all the madness cards one way or another. The 3-mana instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard, but it's got madness. If it's discarded, you get to pay it for 1 blue instead. And when you do, you cast it for its madness cost. That's a good one. Well, it was good at the time. I don't know if anyone would play this card now. It'd be so hard. You're the one who has to discard cards. Rated Lex, thank you very much for your super chat. Hakon. Stromgald Scourge. This is a 3-mana 3/3. You can cast Hakon Stromgald Scourge from your graveyard, but not from anywhere else. So you want this card in your graveyard. As long as a Hakon is on the battlefield, you may cast night spells from your graveyard. You actually okay, you want this in the graveyard, cast it from there, and then you start casting the night spells. When Hakon dies, you lose 2 life. Well, that part sucks. This is a fantastic card. Great idea. Argentina, Bridge from Below. Other cards that want to be in the graveyard. Now, okay, hold on. This one, do I have to start disqualifying cards? Because the point is, I didn't want this to be a graveyard deck. Like, yes, we do want this in the graveyard. Okay, you know what? I have to disqualify this. If you want it discarded, hold on, you may cast it from your graveyard, but not from anywhere else. Like, it's got to be, okay, it needs to be something where if you discarded it, you got some sort of trigger, you got some sort of effect. Because otherwise, we're just going to have a whole show of cards just being in the graveyard. So we got to set the rules down here. So we got to disqualify this one from Rated Lex, and we're going to give the super chat to somebody else. Let's give it to, no, Dread Return, not going to work. Do you want to discard Dread Return? I don't think you want to discard Dread Return. Beanpot's got it. Obstinate Baloth. Okay, so you're gonna get the super chat. 4 mana for a 4/4, enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Now, if a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Obstinate Baloth, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. That's another Gotham card. It's like, I make you discard a card. Thank you for making me discard it onto the battlefield. Got him. They'll never see it coming. They usually don't, to be honest. Obstinate Baloth actually saw a ton of play in the history of Magic the Gathering. It was actually an incredibly good card for exactly this reason, especially around the Liliana of the Veil days, when Liliana would tick up and each player would discard a card, and you would just be like, oh, here's an Obstinate Baloth, got him. And also it was good at life gain, it was good at beating burn decks and so on. Yeah, you are so generous, Rated Lex. Thank you so much. Next up, let's go with Turiat. Orvar the All Form. This is a 4-mana 3/3 changeling. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. When a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, create a token that's a copy of target permanent. So hold on, how does this work? So if an opponent makes you discard this, we create a token. So this thing isn't actually copying the thing, but it's going to make a trigger to copy something. It's a little bit bizarre, as far as I'm concerned. Daw11 says, that's why it's seeing play again recently against Hopeless Nightmare Nurturing Pixie deck. Oh, really? Is the Baloth back? It is legal and standard. Didn't even really notice. Next up, Matthew Green. Thank you very much for your super chat. The Captain Howler. Aye, aye, Captain. Captain Howler is a 4-mana 5/4 ward, pay 2 life. It's a shark pirate. It's odd. Something that swims in the water is now riding on the ship. Whenever you discard one or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. For each card discarded this way, whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Okay, I will accept cards like this. That when you discard cards, it will trigger something. So I will absolutely accept cards like this. So remember, there needs to be some discard outlet. Either the card itself is getting discarded, or cards get triggered when cards are discarded. So this will definitely count. Because it turns out I never had a discard show. So here's the discard show. Everything and all discard. Like this. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Howling for flavor reasons. Argentina for Linessa. This is a human wizard called Linessa the Zephyr Mage. The name sounds familiar. It's a 3/3, pay blue, X, tap, return target creature with converted mana cost X to its owner's hand. But it's got Grandeur. Discard another card named Linessa Zephyr Mage. Not good for commander decks. Target player returns a creature he or she controls to its owner's hand, then repeats this process for an artifact, an enchantment, and a land. That sounds strong. So all I need is one of these in play. Then I discard the other one. Target player returns a creature, then an artifact, enchantment, and land. This is like a crazy 4-mana bounce. And it's free, right? This almost seems insane. Okay, the problem is you need to have another one in your hand. That's the problem. Very unusual. Gwendolyn, I prefer Dat card. Sorry for the bad pun. Oh, the Dat card. This show should take place in Nephalia Academy. That's something to do with discarding cards. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard a card, you may reveal that card and put it on top of your library instead of putting it anywhere else. Yes, you're correct. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not, because then otherwise, how does that interact with like Baloth? What takes precedent? Does the Baloth come in play, or does the Academy take precedent over it? I have no idea. Christopher B, it's got to say discard. If it doesn't have the word discard on the card, you're probably getting disqualified. That's going to be more or less a hard rule for today. Okay, we have Dinglebag with Malfgor. Malfagor? Malfagor! Of course, old buddy, old pal. A 6-mana, 6/6 demon dragon. How does it fly? When Malfagor enters the battlefield, discard your hand. Each opponent sacrifices a creature for each card discard. Whoa! For each card discarded this way? So if I discard my hand of 7 cards, you lose all your creatures. That's absolutely bonkers. It's a one-sided board wipe. And it's only the opponents. And then, guess what? Maybe all your cards had madness. They're going to be played anyway. Alman, thank you very much for your super chat. Gravecrawler. If done, then Turgrid. I think both those are getting disqualified. Does Turgrid have anything to do with discarding? Turgrid. Gravecrawler does not. Turgrid. Sacrifice a permanent. You may put that card onto the battlefield. Untap. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Yeah, this has nothing to do with you discarding cards, so disqualified. I will donate your super chat though. We will donate it to Beanpot. There you go, Beanpot. You get a super chat. Nullhide Ferox? Faro? I don't know how to pronounce this. Could be Faro, Ferox, Ferox. 4 mana, 6/6 beast, hexproof. You can't cast non-creature spells. Pay 2. Nullhide Ferox loses all abilities until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard the Nullhide Ferox, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. So you want it to get discard, you see? Funtley with Jace. I don't think this has any. Oh no, Vryn's. Oh, maybe. Vryn's Prodigy? What is it? Okay, it's 2 mana, 0/2. Draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 5 or more cards in your graveyard, you get to exile, then return them to the battlefield, transform. But this has nothing to do with actually needing to discard cards. This just has to do with the activated ability. Okay, people, you gotta think madness. You gotta think if this card gets discarded, this thing triggers. Stuff like that. That's the way you gotta look at it. This is just activate. And then even if you don't even discard the card, it's going to flip if there's like 5 or more cards in the graveyard. There we go. Abzo with Archfiend of Ifnir. Archfiend of Ifnir. Where is this? Where is your Archfiend? There we go. I hate this card. 5 mana for a 5/4 demon. That's got cycling. So don't just be giving me like random cards for cycling. It qualifies for that. But there's more activated abilities on this card. Flying. When you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. That just completely wipes out everything that your opponents are doing. Arian Boseiju. Yes, that's correct. Channel lands absolutely count. Because you have to discard the Boseiju who endures. Destroy target art. So you can put it into play as a land, or you can discard it with its channel ability. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. That player can search their library for a land card with basic land type, put onto the battlefield. Untapped. Cost 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control, which means you have a legend, it'll cost 1 green. As if it wasn't cheap enough. It can get cheaper. Topic too narrow today. No, it's not narrow. There's millions of cards. You're going to find them. Whoops, very macabre. There's millions of cards. You have to open your mind up. Okay, very macabre. 3 mana, 2/2 flyer. Discard Fairy Macabre. Exile up to 2 target cards from a graveyard. They never see it coming. You thought you were going to reanimate? No, you thought I was tapped out? I had no interaction for your graveyard strategy? Boom, Fairy Macabre. They never see Fairy Macabre coming. John with a super chat. Circling Vultures. That card works. It's a black 3/2 flyer. During your upkeep, remove the top creature card in your graveyard from the game or bury Circling Vultures. If Circling Vultures is in your hand, you may discard it. Play this ability as an instant. What does that mean? Hold on. Forget the ancient text. You may discard this card anytime you could cast an instant. But why? Beginning of your upkeep. Oh, to help the other Circling Vultures. Because at the beginning of your upkeep, sack this creature unless you exile the top creature card of your graveyard. They should have added, like, you can have as many Circling Vultures in your deck as possible. Because even if you have, like, 4 Circling Vultures in your deck, I don't think that synergy is going to work so well. Okay, we got Gwendolyn with the Bone Miser. Has anyone said Bone Miser yet? Well, we have now. 5 mana, 4/4. Discard creature card. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever you discard a land card, add double black. And whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land card, you're gonna draw a card. When discarding cards actually gives you value. Evan with the Muddle the Mixture. Ooh, good call. Blue instant, counter target instant or a sorcery spell, but you can transmute it for 3 mana. Discard the card and search your library for a card with the same mana value as this card. 2 mana. Maybe Thassa's Oracle. Some people out there, I know I've done it before. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So I guess if you don't ban Thassa's Oracle, you can ban Muddle the Mixture. We got Toads with a super chat. Astral, I think it's Astral Slide. Not Astral Slide. 3-mana enchantment. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may exile target creature. If you do, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. I'm assuming it's going to be you. Imagine playing this against... I'm just thinking, even against Living End, they cycle. I don't think it would actually do anything versus them. But yeah, it looks like an interesting way of making it work for you. Does discarding in the cost count if it's an activated ability? I don't know what you mean by that. Discarding in the cost? You mean discarding a card to cast the card? Yeah, I would count that, if that's possible. We got Blackbird, Bag of Holding. Pay 1, artifact. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. No! Pay 2, tap, draw a card, and discard a card. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding. Return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hands. Oh! So it's like a storage card. Instead of your cards going to the... Oh, but it's only a card that you discard. This is a weird, funky card. So if you discard a card, it gets exiled instead. But like if it dies normally, it doesn't get exiled. Very strange. But definitely counts for the show. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. All right, we have another super chat here from Lil Dead Fly. The Foreboding Landscape. Does more than cycle. Okay, it does have cycling for 3 mana, which would draw you a card. Tap, add colorless. Tap, sacrifice this land. Search your library for a basic swamp, forest, or island card. Put it onto the battlefield. Tap, and then shuffle. No, I'm not counting this. So, like, otherwise, you're gonna, like, everyone's gonna give me a cycling card. It's gotta have something in addition to cycling, or it's gotta have something like when you cycle, you get this ability, like the Archfiend of Ifnir. That's when it's gonna really count. So we're gonna donate your super chat. We're gonna donate to somebody who maybe hasn't had a card yet, like poor Bell over here. Wilt Leaf Liege. You know, I think after the show, if somebody has a problem with a discard deck, they won't have a problem with it anymore. It's a 4-mana 4/4. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. The white creatures get +1/+1. And then if a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, you can just directly put it onto the battlefield instead. Another big surprise. Surprise! We got Kripachi. That's very cute. Avatar. Currency converter. Pay 1 artifact. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. Again? Another one of these? Pay 2, tap, draw a card, then discard a card. So you're actually not losing anything, because they're basically going into some zone that you're going to get it back. Tap, put a card exiled with currency converter into the graveyard. If it's a land card, create a treasure token. If it's a non-land card, create a 2/2 black rogue creature token. We're converting cards into different types of currencies. Sometimes it's a card, sometimes it's a 2/2 rogue token. Next up, West Coast Gains. No card yet. Hear me out, Nikachu. A land that lets you draw 2 just for tapping it. Bazaar of Baghdad. Yeah, but well, you're not discarding that card. You get no benefit from discarding that card. Tresaru. We did Circular Logic already. I did it in honor of you. That was your card. I'm pretty sure that was your card. Yeah, we did that. And I think it came from you too. Argentina. Are spell shapers fine? Absolutely. Seismic Mage. What does this do? Blow up lands? 4 mana, 1/1 spell shaper. Pay 3. Tap. Discard a card from your hand to destroy a land. Yeah. Probably is going to get blown away on the spot when people see this card. I think... Oh, did I do this super chat already? Bag of Holdings? I think I did from someone else. If not, then Anjay. Who's Anjay? Which one? Oh, it's probably this one. Discard a card, draw a card. Whenever you discard a card, if it has Madness. Oh, untap Anjay. Absolutely. That works. And as haste, you can start looting immediately. So if you discard, so you can just keep chaining. It's almost like a combo. Discard Madness card, even could play it or not play it, and then immediately untap this thing to retap it again. Tappity tappity. bracket 4 alert. Lewis, Shadow Grange Archfiend. This is a 7-mana 8/4. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. You gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures sacrificed this way. And it can come into play with Madness. Holy crap, that cost, though. You have to spend 3 mana and pay 8 life. You know, at 60-card Magic, that's like half your life. That's 40% right there. That's crazy. Evan with Borigmos enraged. We need the enraged one. That's the one that's angry. 8 mana for a 7/6 Cyclops with trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all land cards into your hand. The rest into the graveyard. And discard a land card to deal 3 damage to any target. Don't piss him off. It's very, very angry. Very, very angry. Bell with Mangara's Blessing. Where the hell is this? 3 mana, instant, gain 5 life. If a spell or effect controlled by an opponent causes you to discard this card, you gain 2 life and return Mangara's Blessing from your graveyard to your hand at end of turn. Wow! I think this is the first card. Okay, I don't know if this is the first card. I didn't even know this effect existed this far back into the past, as far as Mirage. Like, I thought it started with, like, Obstinate Baloth. Jeskai Adept loves the Archfiend. Also very nice avatar. And cards like Anger don't count. It's got to be cards where if they are discarded, you get an effect. Or cards that when they're in play and something is discarded, you get an effect. Everything else is meaningless. Okay, so we've got... Who else is here? Anything else? No card yet? Toilet Duck. Asylum Visitor. Because otherwise it just turns into a show about cards you want in your graveyard, but that's not the point of the show. Okay, it's a 2-mana 3/1 Vampire Wizard. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. And you can play with Madness. Madness does count. But why? Well, I guess it's like the cost is the same. I guess it's a free card if you have a discard deck. How do you say you have no card? You got that Circular Logic card. Raven Man. Raven Man calls the ravens and sets you on fire. Okay, it's a 2-mana 2/1 human wizard. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a 1/1 black bird creature token with flying, and this creature can't block. Each opponent discards a card. Activate only as a sorcery. You're not discarding cards. I actually would not entirely count this card. You got to be the one discarding the cards around here. If your opponent's discarding the cards, you're doing something wrong. Well, I'm pulling out that buzzer today, big time. Kano with Magenta the Lion. Sorry, it's not Magenta, it's Magita. Magenta is like a sort of a pinkish color. It's a 5-mana 3/3, 3-mana tap, discard 2 cards from your hand, destroy all creatures except Magenta the Lion. Those creatures can't be regenerated. This is OP. How do you beat this? Give this thing indestructible and it basically lays the law of the land. All those people in the background, they're about to all die. I wouldn't want to be around this guy. If this guy's gonna go to war, he can go to war by himself. I'm gonna stay at home. Okay, we're going to war. Great. Yeah, we're going to be led by Magetta the Lion. No! Don't think so. Dangerous one. Anger or Big Game Hunter. Big Game Hunter counts. Anger does not. I'm assuming Anger doesn't count. I don't think Anger counts. I'd have to look very closely at it. Big Game Hunter is a 3-mana 1/1. Enters the battlefield. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. But you can Madness it into play for 1 black mana. If you can discard this... You'll want to, because all of a sudden it's like a inverted Fatal Push for 1 black. Beanpot with Psychic Purge. This is a blue sorcery. Deals 1 damage to target creature or player. When a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Psychic Purge. Wow, that player loses 5 life instead. That's crazy. Deals, and also they lose life. This is the superior life loss part. You know, they can protect themselves with Circle of Protection damage, but I don't know if you can prevent loss of life. Almond with Artificer's Intuition discards artifacts to tutor. That 100% counts. This is a 2-mana enchantment. Oh yeah, this card. No one's broken this card yet. It's a 3-mana super tutor. Pay a blue, discard an artifact from your hand, suit your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 1 or less, reveal it and put it to your hand, then shuffle your library. This card, I think, is busted. Like, is there just no purpose for this thing? You can convert any artifact into, like, Mishra's Bauble, a Mox, what else? I mean, maybe these things seem pathetic, but if you have an artifact in your hand that's too expensive, you can, like, just turn it into an artifact that's worth something. And there's a lot of good artifacts for 1 or 2 mana. You take that back, Beanpot. You take that back. Soul Ring! We get Soul Ring. I think this card is neat. I absolutely want to discard Forest because I don't want to play green. Okay, let's see. Christopher B wants to get on this one. Oh, fun fact, Magetta is still around. Oh, interesting. Still alive in the lore, huh? Okay, Christopher B with Pure Intentions. A lot of your cards earlier were Snap going to get disqualified. This is a white instant arcane card. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard cards this turn, return those cards from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Pure Intentions, return Pure Intentions from your graveyard to your hand at end of turn. Can't get rid of this card. You can't keep a good Pure Intentions down. This is like the most ultimate anti-discard strategy card in the game. Yeah, in the game. If you hate this card, just play with this damn thing. We did Borborygmos. I'll tell you what we didn't do. Monument to Endurance. 3-mana artifact. When you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You can draw a card. We can create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. Sick! This plus Faithless Looting. It's all over. How about good old Basking Rootwalla? What's wrong with Basking Rootwalla? Nothing wrong with Basking Rootwalla. Sees vintage play. You know, I was really shocked to learn that this card still sees vintage play at all. Format of absolute busted nonsense power. So it's a green 1/1. It costs 0 though if you discard it, which often happens with Bazaar of Baghdad. Pay 2, Basking Rootwalla gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. Jeskai Adept with Invasion of Kaldheim. How does this work? When Invasion of Kaldheim enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your hand, then draw that many cards until end of turn. You may play cards exiled this way. What's the backside here? Discard, the Pyre of the World Tree. So if you can blow up this battle, discard a land card. Pyre of the World Tree deals 2 damage to any target. Whenever you discard a land card, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So on discard land, if your deck is all lands, you would just win the game on the spot. I just don't know how you flip this over if your entire deck is all lands. Unearth? Oh, Unearth just has cycling. So if it just has cycling, I'm not gonna count it. I mean, I can count 1 cycling card, but then that's it. So you can have cards. If it's gonna cycle, it needs to have something like when this card cycles, it gets this trigger or something. That's gonna be really important. Because otherwise, there's a million cycle cards that are just not very interesting to look at. Okay, we're gonna look at more cards you want to discard or discard 4 cards. But we got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, where you're going to get the protection, that insurance for discarding cards. You're going to get them at FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards and sealed product. where you can get Ether Drift cards and Tarkir Dragonstorm cards. And let me tell you, you want a deal? I got the deal for you. Deal of the century here. Use coupon code Nikachu at checkout when buying from Fusion Gaming Online, and get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Build a deck with Obstinate Bailoff, that Liege card, and more. Just all anti-discard cards, and just keep jamming games until you find someone on Magic Online that's playing with discard and just completely crush them. And it doesn't cost you anything. Or it's not going to cost you a whole lot by renting this deck, because you can just return it afterwards and rent a new one. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_C1Z. And back to the chaos. Welcome to the chaos here of discard cards. Who does not have a card yet? Can't tell if Beanpot has a card. Sand Golem. 5 mana, 3/3. If a spell or effect controlled by an opponent causes you to discard Sand Golem, put Sand Golem from your graveyard into play at the end of turn with a +1/+1 counter on it. It's amazing. There's a lot of these cards. I guess the origin of this mechanic started in Mirage. David Mosley. Muddle the Mixture. I think we did that one. Yeah, we did this one. Sorry about that. You have to give me another one. Until then, I will... What's with this Bridge from Below? Hold on, let me look at Bridge from Below. Does it have a discard outlet? Bridge... Can't remember. I thought it was like whenever a creature dies, you get tokens. Where a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield. If you get a token, whenever a creature an opponent controls... Yeah, it's disqualified. No discard synergy whatsoever. The damn draws. Soul, Fem, Mayhem. We'll give the super chat to you. 4 mana for a 5/4 Phyrexian Horror. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent, it deals double that damage. And then for 3 mana, discard 2 cards to put an indestructible counter on Soul, Fem, Mayhem, Dominus. And just make sure that the cards you discard, they have madness, and then it's all gravy. You want to discard the Bridge because it only works when it's in the graveyard. But here's the thing about Bridge. It can get to the graveyard in many different ways. You could mill it into the graveyard. You don't have to discard it to get its effect. So today is a show of only discarding. If it doesn't have the word discard, you're probably in trouble. I don't know if there is a card that's going to qualify for this show that doesn't have the word discard on it. I guess there might be a few where it says, if you cycle a card, you get this effect. And it may not actually say the word discard on the card. Biotism with the Dream Halls. You're welcome. I thought this is a really expensive card. 5 mana, enchantment. Rather than pay the mana cost for a spell, its controller may discard a card that shares a color with that spell. Absolutely. That's probably the ultimate of all ultimate cards. Where this came from? Stronghold? It's part of the reserve list too. It's only $26. Feels busted. Feels busted as hell. I guess it's crappy omniscience to a degree. Next up, Lion's Eye Diamond. No, that one definitely doesn't count. Or does it? Oops, I'm looking up LED. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, sack it. Oh, you do have to discard your hand, actually. Do you know what? This actually counts. Discard, you have to sack the Lion's Eye Diamond and discard your hand to add 3 mana of any one color. Activate only as an instant. Get your Dream Hull stonks today. Next up, do we have a super chat? David Mosley, you got another card out there? I'm keeping an eye out for you. Dono for Abzo, the surly Badgesaur. This is a 4 mana 3/3 Badger Dinosaur. Badger. Mushroom. Whenever you discard a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on your Surly Badgersaur. And whenever you discard a land card, create a treasure token. Whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land card, Surly Badgersaur fights up to one target creature you don't control. This feels like Waste Not to me. It's Waste Not the creature. Sorry, Waste Not the red creature. Did I say... No, I did not. Oh, not all the cards have to discard themselves. It could be a card in play. I know the title is not very specific to that. It could be a card in play that has discarding effects. Okay, friendly commander card. Survival of the fittest. Oh, God. Is this balanced in Commander? Certainly not balanced anywhere else. 2-mana enchantment, pay a green, discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. You're very happy to discard that card. We got Hamad with Tortured Existence. I keep remembering, I don't know what this card does, but I always found it underrated and original. It's a black enchantment, pay a black, choose and discard a creature card, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, right? And then like discarding like Gravecrawler is good if you want to get back something really useful. Does reanimate targets count? No, definitely not. That's the point. That's the point of this show. It is not a graveyard show. It is a discard show. That's why I'm disqualifying all these graveyard cards. They don't count. Okay, I guess we're on to no 2 cards yet. We have Kano with the Nightshade Assassin. 4 mana, 2/1, first strike. When it enters the battlefield, you may reveal X black cards in your hand. And if you do, target creature gets -X until end of turn. And you can Madness into play for 2 mana. Next, we have from Cryptpatchy with Edgar's Awakening. Don't wake up Edgar. 5 mana sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. When you discard this card, you may pay a black. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Not quite the same thing, but you know what? Value is value. Wild Mongrel. 2 mana, 2/2. Discard a card. Wild Mongrel gets +1/+1 and becomes the color of your choice until end of turn. This card looks so bad by today's standards. It was such the hotness back then. Such the hotness. Yeah, it means no 2 cards yet. Because I try to get everyone involved in the show. Everyone gets a card. That's why we have some people who say NCY, which means no card yet. And if you haven't gotten a card yet on the show, then you just say that, and I will give you priority. Fiery Encore. Everyone got to be part of the show. See, you're learning. You're like one of us. Okay, we have Fiery Encore is a 5 mana sorcery. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Fiery Encore deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or player. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard a okay, as long as it's specific. Discard a non-land card. It's going to deal a lot of damage, and it's got Storm. So whoa! When it storms, you're gonna constantly discard and draw a card. This card's it looks like a nightmare to resolve. Okay, we've got. Oh, hold on. Okay, I just got you. Pyre, the Loxodon Smiter. Did we do this one? I want to say we didn't. I think we got everyone except this one. It's a 3 mana 4/4. It can't be countered. Now, if a spell or an ability causes you to discard your Smiter, it will just come directly into play. Good luck. Good luck, Liliana. Fool. You thought you were making me discard my land cards. Little did you know I had this thing. Elixir with the Bottomless Pit. There's always a bottom. 3 mana enchantment. During each player's upkeep, that player discards a card at random. During each player's upkeep. This doesn't do any benefit for you. Like, it will make you discard your cards. It will, and it's not, the point is not to make your opponents discard your cards. The point is to make you discard your cards and get some benefit out of it. You do technically discard a card at your upkeep because it's each player. But I have no idea if you... This is not what you want to do, though. This is a unique card, though. It's a very, very unique card. Never seen this card before. All right, next up. Let's get... This is about cards that want to be discarded or cards that make you discard. It could be either. It could be either. It could be, but it has to be like an activated ability of making you discard cards. David Mosley, you know what? You had a super chat. You're gonna get back. Step through. Ooh, it's got wizard cycling. The 5-mana sorcery, return 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. Now, this is not your regular cycling card. It's wizard cycling. Pay 2, discard it, and search your library for a wizard card. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. You know what I'd get? I get this wizard. Screw everyone's mana. Okay, next up, we got Karch with the ill-timed explosion. I don't know an explosion that is well-timed. 4-mana sorcery, draw 2 cards, then you may discard 2 cards. When you do, ill-timed explosion deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. So basically, the bigger the discard, the bigger the blast. Oh boy, with Slime Against Humanity. This isn't an unset card, is it? Sounds very unset-like. No, this is real. Okay, 3-mana sorcery. Create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is 2 plus the total number of cards you own in exile. And in your graveyard that are oozes. Blah, blah, blah. A deck can have any number of cards named Slime Against Humanity. This does not do anything. It has nothing to do with discard. If you discard this card, it does nothing. Okay, next up. Let's get... Necrogorf definitely does not count. Okay, Bell is trying to get Bergie on here. Does Bergie count? Whenever you cast a spell, you add red. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana as steps and phases end. Creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns rather than once. I don't even know what boast means. Discard a card. Ah, this one does work. Yeah. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. That's a strong card. Very strong. Anyone has no card yet? I don't even know if Turiot has one. Containment Construct. You cannot contain the power of this construct. 2-mana, 2/1. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn. It's as if you didn't even discard it at all. You got to keep it the entire time. We got Jeskai Adapt with Gavi Nest Warden. 5-mana, 2/5 Human Shaman. You may pay 0 rather than pay the cycling cost of the first card you cycle each turn. Well, it's a cycling card for the cycling deck. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 red and white dinosaur cat creature token. So your cycling is free, and your extra draws from cycling make you tokens. Dangerous one. The ancient... Did we do the ancient one? No, I don't remember. Oh, we didn't do it. Okay, the 2-mana 8/8. That's a lot. The ancient one can't attack or block unless there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard. Pay 4, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, target player mills cards equal to its mana value. Seems very weak synergy. Very weak synergy with the show. Next, I guess we go to Bryce. Sickening Dreams. 2-mana sorcery. As an additional cost to play Sickening Dreams, discard X cards from your hand and deals X damage to each creature and each player. Damn! Wow, we don't... discard our cards. Doesn't even get any bonus out of it. I discard a whole card and I deal 1 damage. Trash. William says, if you like Wizard Cycle or Swamp Cycle, does that count as card draw? No, it does not. It's unique. So you can get, yeah, you can have Swamp Cycle, you can have Island Cycle, you can have all those cards. That's fine with me. Alex Bruce, Kindle the Carnage. Does having a card does a card having retrace or jumpstart automatically qualify? Jumpstart will jumpstart will qualify since you yes, that is correct. I don't remember the rules for retrace, but jumpstart is jumpstart works. Kindle the Carnage, 3 mana sorcery. Discard a card at random. If you do, Kindle the Carnage deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to each creature. You may repeat this process any number of times. Deals damage. Oh! But it has to be random. You have to discard at random. You can repeat the process. Wow. I discard my hand. I'm going to blow up the board this way. Joey! Nihilistic Glee. Okay, 4 mana enchantment. Pay 3, discard a card. Target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That is so sad. That costs so much for so little. Hellbent. Pay 1, pay 2 life, draw a card. Play this ability only if you have no cards in hand. The second ability is awesome. The first ability is just trash. Super bad. I gave you your Burgie, Bell. You got your Burgie's on the board. Retraces, discard a land to cast from graveyard without exiling. Ah! Yes, that would count. You definitely want to discard for those cards. Lewis, the infamous Cruel Claw. We have a 3 mana 3/3 Weasel Mercenary with Menace. Whenever the infamous Cruel Call deals combat damage to a player, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by discarding a card rather than paying its mana cost. Interesting. So we're just like exchanging one card to play another card for free. Next up, we did this one, the Surly Badgesaur. We got that one already. Twilladuck with the Bloodhall Priest. Four mana for a 4/4 Vampire Cleric. When this creature enters or attacks, if you have no cards in hand, this creature deals 2 damage to any target. Free shock. If you're broke. You have no money down. Free shock. And because that's like, it has madness, sorry. Madness. It's a card gone mad. It sounds like he's saying Vag, so I'm not saying that. What is it? Badge? It's Where are you getting this anything else from? Badge of honor. The Badgesaur. Okay, what do we got here? Putrid Raptor. Oh, it's got Morph. Discard a zombie card from your hand. Otherwise, it's a 6 mana 4/4. That definitely works. Okay, we got Deepwood Elder. To mess someone's upkeep. Green, 2/2. Green, X, tap. Discard a card from your hand. X, target lands become forests until end of turn. I don't know if this card is worth it at all. Joey with Emmett Selch. I saw Pro Jared play with it that flips to Hades to play anything in your graveyard. This is an unbelievable image. 3 mana 2/4 Vigilance, enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, transform it into Hades, Vigilance, Echo of the Lost. During your turn, you may play lands from your graveyard. If a card or token will be put into your graveyard from exile instead. Damn it, I read all this. Disqualified. It discards cards, but you don't get any benefit from discarding the card, or no direct benefit. I understand, like, at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards, but you don't need to discard cards in order to fill up your graveyard. You can get there other ways. They need, like, yeah, this is a sad flute situation. I read two cards before it got disqualified. Yogman, Shadow of the Grave. 2 mana instant. Return to your hand all cards in your graveyard that you cycled or discarded this turn. You know what? I'm going to allow this. That is so unusual. Incredibly unusual. Where's... Okay, what else? What else do we have here? Biotism with Throes of Chaos. 4 mana, sorcery, Cascade, and so Cascade and as Retrace. So we can discard a land to retrace this thing, and we get to Cascade again. Anyone afraid of Cascade? Some people are. Okay, Draneth Stinger. Stinging around here. 2 mana, 2/2 human wizard. Whenever you cycle or discard, whenever you cycle another card, Draneth Stinger deals 1 damage to each opponent. Beautiful. And also cycles itself. Evan with the Chamber of Manipulation. 4 mana enchant land. Enchant land has tap. Discard a card from your hand. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. That is pretty strong. Or is it? No, it is pretty strong. It's a pretty neat card for commander. So like you just put this on the land, you just sit on that land. Just sit on it. And then when your opponent makes a big attack, you might even be able to discard a card and steal one of their creatures in the middle of the attack. Uh-oh, Argentina with Abandon Hope. I'm sorry, I'm not disqualifying the card. It's just just the mood. It was a flavor sound effect. 2 mana X sorcery. Choose and discard X cards. Look at the top. Look at target opponent's hand and choose X of those cards. That player discards the chosen cards. It's a pretty pathetic card for a Do you know what? Hold on. Why does this card exist? Target player, you look at that player discards X of the chosen cards. You can take their lands. Oh, but you still have to pay for X. That's the problem. You can't just pay it for 2 mana. Dinglebag says, did we do Oscar? Rubbish Reclaimer? I don't think so. 5 mana for a 3/3 human wizard. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each different mana value among cards in your graveyard. Whenever you discard a non-land card, you may cast it from your graveyard. It's going to be back before you know it. Abandon Hope costs so much resources, it's just bad. I will abandon Hope. One of my all-time favorites. Does that even have anything to do with the show? I'm not even gonna read it. I honestly don't understand this card. I would understand it if I owned and played with it, but I don't. I have no idea what's going on with the Chains of Mephistopheles. Next, let's get Cairo Rankle, Master of Pranks. I don't know if this is going to count. Okay, it's a 4 mana 3/3. When it deals combat damage, you can choose any number. Each player discards a card. Now, this is a show of like when the cards are discarded, you get an effect out of it. You get some benefit. And in this case, you're just discarding cards for the sake of discarding cards. We got Kerosene here with some gas. 1 with nothing? Do I count this? I mean, in some sense, if you play this card, you would have wanted this effect. But at the same time, it doesn't do anything when you discard your cards. Magic cards you want to discard. I don't think I'm going to count this card. It's tough. It's close, though. Maybe it's supposed to count. You should for the meme. Okay, for the memes. 1 with nothing. We are going to be 1 with nothing. Michael Ng, Guerrilla Tactics. I know this is not the same gorilla, but has anyone been keeping up to date with the 100 humans versus a gorilla meme? I absolutely love that meme. It's the greatest meme right now. I'm sort of on this side that 1 gorilla wins. 2 mana instant. Guerrilla Tactics deals 2 damage to target creature or player when a spell ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Guerrilla Tactics. Guerrilla Tactics deals 4 damage to target creature or player. It's gonna deal 4 to you. It'll really surprise that Liliana. The damn draws with Spawns. Is this a real card? Spawn Zauber. Spawn. I don't know this card. Spawns. Spontaneous. No, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't even a card. Okay, Benjamin Berkey's got a card. Aqua Moiba. 2 mana for a 1/3. Discard a card. Switch Aquamoeba's power and toughness until end of turn. You go get him, Aquamoeba. You go get him. You show them. You attack for 1. Make sure all those 1 toughness creatures aren't blocking you. Then you do the old switcheroo. Matthew Green with, I've been a few people in chat. It says Hashaton. A few people in chat say Hashaton. Okay, we're gonna get Hashaton in the game. It's a 2 mana 1/3. Whenever you discard a creature card, you can pay 3 mana. If you do, create a tap token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. The zombies are back. Bryce says, Nikachu, I posted in your Coffee Crew Discord chat a broken down version of Giants of Mephistopheles for you to check out later. I've probably read what it does several times. The problem is that you don't really remember unless you actually play with or against the card. That's when you like internalize it. Just like the first strike on Thalia. If I haven't played against Thalia in 5 years, I completely forget it even has first strike. Next. Did the universe start as nothing? I think we did Horus. Nitrim, dying to serve. Okay, it's 3 mana enchantment. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Oh, poo! Wait, you can't. You're telling me I can't combo this with Wheel of Fortune or Windfall or something? How rude. Aquamoeba was worth it just for the face Nikachu made, yeah. Last rites from Karch. 3 mana sorcery. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Target player reveals their hand. Then you choose a non-land card from it for each card discard this way. That player discards those cards. Slightly better. Actually, a significantly better Abandoned Hope. It's way better. Next up, we'll have... This card made torture exist expensive, right? I have no idea. Joy wants mind over matter. Oh, I love this card. Yeah, 6 mana enchantment. Choose and discard a card. Tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. Of course, if that creature draws cards, then you get to go through your entire deck for nothing. And then we have Christopher B with Alexi Zephyr Mage. 5 mana, 3/3, Spell Shaper Legend. Pay a blue, X, tap, discard 2 cards from your hand. Return X target creatures to their owner's hands. So wait, this is like just a more expensive waterfront bouncer, effectively. Evan has another good card. Where's Evan? We said Basking, but we didn't say Blazing Rootwalla. The 420 friendly Rootwalla. It's a red 1/1. Pay a red. It gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Madness for 0. Actually seeing play. Seeing competitive play. Very good card. What next we have? Bell wants Crypt, Caller, Chariot. 4 mana, 5/5 vehicle with menace. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create that many tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. And it's got Crew 2. Yogman, the Flame of Keld. Oh, do we have to go to the backside? Okay, 2 mana. First Step 1, discard your hand. Step 2, draw 2 cards. Oh, I played against this card once. If a red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage to +2 to that permanent or player instead. That's it. But you don't get any effect for discarding your hand. So I have to disqualify this card. I mean, like, this sort of goes in the realm of, like, if you played this card, you wanted to discard your cards, but you also might have discarded it because you have nothing in your hand. You might have 0 cards in your hand at this point. Jess has an entire time about Nikachu lore. It's some made-up Nikachu lore. Nikachu exists only because he was a possibility in infinity, and God chose his possibilities to exist. I am a possibility in infinity. Kano with Toulouse. Clever conductor. Conducting... What, a train? Look at this mana. What is with this mana cost? Look, this mana symbol's big. This one gets small, and it gets big again. It's a 3/1 human rogue. Enters, it connives. You draw and discard a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile them from your graveyard. And when Toulouse dies, put the cards exiled with it into their owner's hands. Very similar to those artifacts that we saw earlier. Wouldn't the benefit of discarding your hand be that you get more stuff later? Yeah, but you might not. You might not. So the idea is, like, if you discard a card here, you're gonna get the card back when Toulouse dies. That's what we know. We know for sure. Okay, that's it. I'm surprised. You know, everyone asked me about Jumpstart cards. No one brought up any Jumpstart cards. We got 1 Retrace. Okay, that's it for the show. It wasn't bad. They said it was going to be a narrow show. There was a lot of variety on this show. And if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be here or be square. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you support with money, you know, if you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. A lot of new faces. People like Jess Guy Adapt, Matthew Green, Toilet Duck, Evan, Benjamin Berkey, Emil can shrink opposing gripe. You're right. Steve Cooper, Kano, Lil Deadfly, Evan, Toads, Benjamin Berkey. We got Dinglebag. I got Bell. Repeating some names. Joey, Jess, Matthew Green. Because you're what makes the show every single day. So keep brewing those coffees, coffee crew. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. And of course, we'll see you at the next cup.